Hello everyone and welcome back to Freedom Through Confidence. My name is Ben and in this video today we're going to be talking about how to develop emotional control. Now, our emotions are a really integral part of our day-to-day human experience, yet our emotions are something that we often don't know too much about. It's something that we can sometimes push to the side as the part of our mind that, we don't really care about as much. It's much easier to work with things like logic and reasoning than it is to work with your emotions. So oftentimes we don't really learn much about them, let alone learn how to control our emotions. But the thing is, if we learn how to develop emotional control, then it puts us one massive step closer to learning how to master our confidence, because one of the things that so frequently gets in the way of our confidence is emotions running out of control. So if we can find control over them, then we can start to learn how to master our confidence to a higher level. Now, when it comes to learning how to control our emotions, the first instinct that we tend to go for is to ignore or to bury our emotions. This is what I did for many years, especially with the more powerful emotions, things like anger and fear. I just bottle them up deep inside of me and really hope that one day they would just go away. But the problem is our emotions are a little bit like wild animals, and if you wanted to tame a wild animal, then the worst thing you could possibly do is just go and lock it in a basement somewhere, because it's just going to get scared and angry and it's going to lash out the next time it sees you. And our emotions are very much the same. You can't just bottle them up or ignore them, because they are just going to flare up in ways that maybe we didn't expect, and the results can be quite devastating in certain cases. So how do we actually develop emotional control? Well, the first thing is that you have to actually listen to your emotions. Now, every emotion that we have, no matter how irrational or illogical it may seem, it has a good reason why it is present. If you are angry, there is a reason. If you're upset, there's a reason. If you are anxious or lonely or happy or devastated, there is always a reason behind those emotions. But that reason might not always be conscious. For example, somebody hits your car, you might get angry, but you know why you are angry in that case. But there are some days when you might just wake up and you're angry all day and you have no idea what the reason is, and in that case the reasoning might be unconscious, but there is still a good reason behind it, even if we can't see it. So that's the first thing that has to be understood. And if you end up just ignoring your emotions, then what is likely to happen is you are going to be experiencing negative outcomes in your life time and time again. You might even find the same things repeating themselves over and over and over again. Not actually listening to what your emotions have to say, not trying to identify the real reason why you're feeling those emotions and letting yourself feel them, can just lead to self-sabotage or self-destructive tendencies. For example, after my first major breakup, I tried to lock down my feelings as much as possible, and instead it manifested in other ways. For me, it manifested in drinking way too much alcohol and almost developing a significant problem with alcohol that I luckily managed to catch in time. But when you start to listen to your emotions and truly feel them, and when I say feel them, not just the emotion itself, but how it feels in your body, where you feel it in your body, how long the feeling lasts for, what is the intensity of that feeling, just really taking the time to be present with whatever it is you're feeling. And when you do that, and when you ask yourself really what's going on for you, and you start to understand those emotions, that is when you can begin the process of healing whatever emotional problem or emotional rift is there at the time. And it's through this process of listening and feeling and starting to heal our emotions that you can start to develop emotional control. But ultimately, there is never going to be complete control over emotions. You're never going to get to a point where you are in 100% control of your emotions. I know that people can get close. You see it in people who dedicate their lives to monkhood and things like that. They have a very high level of emotional control, but they still have emotions. And under the right circumstances, the control that they have over them would dissipate. And the reason why you'll never be able to fully control your emotions is because a lot of the reasoning does come from our unconscious mind. Our unconscious mind is mostly inaccessible to our conscious mind. So, as we've learned in previous videos, that which we cannot control, we just have to learn to accept instead. And I've spoken in the past about self-acceptance and why that is a very important skill set to learn when building up your confidence. And it works the exact same way with your emotions. Your emotions are just another part of you. They are not something that you're just going to be able to deny. You have to accept that they are there, that they are a part of you, that they will flare up from time to time, and there won't be much that you can do about it. So by not ignoring our emotions, not burying them, by starting to listen and truly feeling them, that is when we begin that process of acceptance of our emotions, and that acceptance is far superior to control. It doesn't mean you have to like every emotion that you have. You don't have to like being angry or sad or anxious or whatever it is, but you do have to accept that those emotions are there, and you have to address them with acceptance and love so that you can get to the root cause and move past them in a more effective way. Now, of course, if you do want to know more about how to become more confident on the whole, then make sure you check out this video right here, which is all about how to let go of your anger towards other people. Or you can check out this video right here, which is the latest upload to the channel. Otherwise, thank you very much for making it all the way to the end of this video, and I wish you the best of luck on your journey towards confidence.